Today, we are talking about curriculum I'm no longer using, which is all about reading. And I'm showing you my super cool, awesome substitute, all about reading. It's a good program. We've used it. It's great. I have several years of it. But I just think for the next child, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to switch to this program because it covers everything. Most language arts programs don't cover literacy, or they may dabble in vocabulary. They may dabble in spelling per se, but a lot of them don't go need enough into it. Like, you need an additional grammar program, you need an additional this. Whereas this program covers phonics and reading and grammar and vocabulary and literacy and higher order thinking and handwriting. So it covers everything in a gentle, alive format. That's the best way I can use to describe it. So let's talk products of the day. Okay, now through the video, I'm going to show you the free product of the day is how to turn any book into a literacy book. I got it from reading this curriculum that I'm going to show you. So just give it some time and you will see how to turn any book into a literacy program, depending on whether you like classic books, which are old books, or newer books. So first up, we got this. It's falling apart because I bought it used. I wish I hadn't bought it used. But let's check it out. Rebellious, okay? But on the back, and this is the fun thing, it's kind of a word a day, but not for every day of the year, just for most months, like the school months. But it's got rebellious, it's got synonyms used in 7% of stories. It has a real life example there, which I like taken from a story that, the last one I looked at was Harry Potter. So take it from a real life story. It also has like word pairs, rebellious artist, rebellious attitude, rebellious teenagers. And then it has a story suggestion to tell. So this is from Miss Wordsmith. I have a super cool book coming from Miss Wordsmith to show you when it arrives. Next up we got, so this is all about me, super me. So if you can try and flip it for you, but it's basically for whatever, anywhere from grade 1 to grade 3, filling in, you do it for them if they're not at handwriting, because not all kids are at handwriting at the same time. And then we got, so these are artist and composer cards. I have the science cards, so I went and bought the artist and the composer cards because I bought several art programs that I'm going to show you. I will show you in, I think, the next video coming up, but I'm just not super impressed with them. I wasn't super impressed with them. So this way, I'm gonna show you 2 art programs, but I DIY'd my own, and one of them is the artist and composer cards, which is pretty cool. So it just discusses, so it's got a picture, it's pretty thick. It's by a Christian company, so if that bothers you, you may not want these cards. So then this talks about the artist on the back. So those, I like. These are, well, first let's look at this game. So this game, take a look at it. So it has, so you pull out 2 cards, one from the picture pile and one from the word pile. And then you have to, read that word. Like, find the pair. That's what you gotta do, you gotta find the pair. So either as a team, who does it, or against each other, who does it first. So I just think it's kind of a cool way to practice your spelling skill. And next up I'm gonna do the yay or nay first, just because I filmed this video reverse style because I just didn't like the first video I did, so then I read, whatever. So I'm gonna have to show you the yay or nay first, but first let me show you before we go into it. The yay or nay, usually I keep to the end. It's like a product that I either would buy again and I highly recommend, or I would not buy again. Today is not. I wouldn't get it again. And so let's talk about strong and true. These are Rebecca readers. I love them. Look at that. It says 1G, so you know what level they are. They're all, and then they have words that you're practicing that are Christian, so you may not want them. But if you are secular, and then they have, think about it, and they got questions at the end to ask. They got words that you're gonna focus on through the stories. So I have so many of them because the stories that I've read so far are really interesting, and the kids like them. So I think that's great. This I would not buy again. It's just personal preference. I wouldn't buy it again because I believe it was like 25 bucks. It was 25 bucks, so a little pricey. And then, because what I thought it was, is I thought it was more of this stuff at the beginning. The first few pages, I want to say like 5 or 10 pages, are when I feel worried or upset, what do I do? So I thought that was cool. I thought the whole book was like that. 5 reasons why failure is important. So again, I thought the whole book was like this. Your brain is your superpower and stuff like that. It's not. It's mostly, it's a gratitude journal. That's what it is. So yeah, that's what it is. It's a gratitude journal. And the reason I don't like it is it's not bad. It's not like it's a bad journal. It's just that, first of all, I think it's overpriced. I think it should be priced cheaper. And second of all, like, we're daytime people, so at nighttime, I'm not gonna be like, or in the afternoon, I'm not gonna be like, hey, sit down and fill out that journal. One thing I love about myself, today I felt something hard I accomplished recently, one great thing that happened today today I did something brave or something kind or made a mistake and learned from it, or I learned something new, or I had fun. And then again, it's kind of a repeat of that. So it is good, it's just personal preference that if it were a daytime thing that we could do every morning, then that would be different. But by the end of the day, I'm done. All right, so let's get into this curriculum. So take a look at it. This is the curriculum that I'm going to use. I believe, did I give you a preview of this? So it comes with the extra readers. Like, everything you need is in this box here. In this box, blue is the first year, so we got readers, we got letter cards, we got sight word cards, we have letter dice, word wheels, flip books, head, tummy, toe cards, context reading, reading charts. We have handwriting. We have, again, language arts, higher order thinking skills. So we got just a ton of supplies come in here. Pretty much everything you need. You will need the books, the additional books, because this is also literacy. So it covers phonics, reading, spelling, grammar, vocabulary, handwriting, higher order reasoning. Not every language arts curriculum covers all of this. It generally doesn't, it generally can't. But this program, it may dabble in it like a little bit, like you may get a little bit of literature or a little bit of vocabulary, but it just covers everything. It's written by a woman, it's not written by her, but it was based on the book of Dr. Ruth Beechick, who she was an educator that believed kids learned best at home. So over here is all your readers. You got tons of readers. You got short vowel readers. You have a bunch of long vowel readers, and you have some bridge readers, okay? And then in here, these are some of the materials you have. I'm gonna try and give you a flip through. These are like your letter cards and stuff. They're almost card stock is what they're on, so not super, super thick, but still good. They're kind of similar to All About Reading. So it's not that I don't like All About Reading, it's just it's very dry, and when I show you some lessons in here, you might see how this is just more alive, in my opinion. This is the student activity book. So look how cool it is. It's got a bunch of different activities. It's got additional stories in here. It's got handwriting. It's got a lot of different things to keep them interesting, maybe fresh. Maybe it's the right word, fresh and new, I don't know. But anyway, there you go. And then, so let's take a look at this book. So this is the integrated language approach. Okay, so it's got phonics, like I said, letter cards, word wheels, flip books, letter dice games, and other things to make it fun. You do not need anything to start this program. Like, what I mean is your child doesn't need to know anything for the most part before you start this program. It starts you off with it starts you off at the beginning of everything, and you start it in grade 1. In part 2 here, you will begin vocab, which I think is pretty interesting. So in part 2, you will begin vocab. It's got the higher order thinking skills, as well as some of the other things, learning about how stories are developed are for the literacy. It's got the grammar, and it's got the handwriting. So they learn to write in smooth, gentle manner, which will provide an easy transition to cursive should you decide you want to do cursive. So let's look at the lessons. Okay, so again, look at part 1. What you learn: phonics, reading skills, handwriting, creative expression, and higher order thinking. And then let's go over here to a lesson. I had one marked off, but they get a lot, you learn a lot more. They get a lot thicker and bigger, these boxes, as you go. So that's what you're learning. This is the materials you will need, and this is day 1. Okay, so this is even in part 2. So first, before we go, let's go back to, so this is the book list. They are classic books, which means every library will have them. So you don't have to go out and spend them, but you can buy them if you want. An alternative to Tale of Peter Rabbit, I actually like, there's one written by, she's a famous actress. I wish I could know, but it's on the website under books, under the first link, which is, I want to say, gentle storybooks that even the youngest can like. So if your kids don't like the Tale of Peter Rabbit, because some of the problems with some of those books is, like, the Tale of Peter Rabbit doesn't have enough pictures and in it. Anyway, okay. So any book is acceptable, and these are questions to make it usable for this program, to make it a literacy program. So this is kind of your free advice for today, is how to turn anything into a literacy program. So look at these questions. So we're dealing with higher order thinking, sequencing of events, characters, setting, and recall. So what did you like best about the story? Why? Where did the story take place? What time of day? Who are the main characters in the story? Do they have a problem? Is the problem solved? Name 2 things about a character: a sad, happy, nice, kind. And what happened at the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end. So things like that, okay? So those, again, so this covers, like I said, it's a very thorough but gentle program. Okay, so when you start, we're gonna start the exciting 36 weeks. Let's talk about shapes with your students. Let's show them the second of shape cards. The shape cards are in here. For example, this is just warming your student up to how things are gonna go. Like, this is what we're gonna do. It's kind of cool. See, these are the shape cards. You get some, they get some. And then it turns into, so look, ask your student to choose a circle shaped card and a line shaped card that he likes. Then give him a piece of drawing paper and ask him to copy the shapes. After he's done that to his satisfaction, ask him to draw a picture from one of the shapes. Like a circle could become a balloon, or a line shape could become a fence or a house, and keep these. So they're not long lessons, but they do have a purpose to them. And then we're moving on to the white letter cards in the student activity book. So these are the prep cards in the student activity book that you're moving on to next. Okay, so let's go, and then you're starting letters as well on day 2. And then day 3, you're gonna start handwriting, but you're gonna show them how to hold a pencil. Now ask your student to sit up straight with his feet flat on the floor when writing. So it really starts you from the beginning. Now let's fast forward. I had picked out a lesson and I don't know where it went. Oh well. So let's just choose a lesson. So it's got assessments throughout that you can do just to help see where your child's at. You don't actually have to test them. Okay, part 2. So there we go. We're moving into we're doing research as well. Dictionary and encyclopedia skills, creative expression, retelling stories, and craft activities. We're doing handwriting, U, Q, and Z. I know I'm reading this upside down. New sight words are does, reading skills, read aloud, character of us. So, and again, it's still read, Quinn, and the quiz to your students, including the new sounds listed in the front of the reader and the new sight words on the back. So read the story to your students the second time. Give the reader to him, ask him to retell the story in his own words. So this is just, to me, it's just a lot more alive. That's the best way I could describe it compared to All About Reading. And that it has everything all in one, and yet it's still simple, and it's still a good program that I can use, and it's not forcing. A lot of language arts programs are too heavy on the handwriting for my child at this age. This takes a gentle approach so we can still do an all-in-one language arts program. So that is one of the programs I'm choosing to use. Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like, do like.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit bell, you know, notification.